What's up, guys? What is up today? That's what this video is about. Not specifically today, but hope you guys have had a good Christmas regardless. Well, I think if you guys, most of the people that are seeing this, if you're seeing it as soon as I upload it, will have seen it just when you guys, it should be just about evening for you. So hope you guys are having a good Christmas. Regardless, that is not what this video is going to be about. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. Stuff about me personally, and stuff about just where we are. Go watch Zeitgeist. Let me say that first. If you haven't seen Zeitgeist, I think there's 3 of them. Go watch the 3. They're films by a guy named Peter Joseph. And if you he has a YouTube account here where you can watch. He has like 2 main interviews. Brilliant guy. Love the guy. But he has these 3 long ass documentaries called Zeitgeist. And I think one of them is on, I think the first one's on Netflix. I know it was. I don't know if it still is. But you guys should watch it. It's great. But the one I'm going to be talking about mainly here is called Zeitgeist Addendum. Now what Zeitgeist is he's just laying out how we got to where the fuck we are now and how to fix it. That's really as simple as it gets. He's talking about the monetary system. He's talking about religion, whatever. He takes down everything. He doesn't take down everything. He goes through everything. Very objectively too. I really respect the guy. He doesn't venture too much into theory. Stays very objective and factual. Good stuff. I feel like it's the most important thing human beings can watch right now. So if you have not seen Zeitgeist, specifically Zeitgeist Addendum, which I think is the 3rd entry, please be watching that now. So stop this and go watch that. But Zeitgeist Addendum, he goes into detail about how fucked we are, about how fucked our monetary system is. And we all know it is, but he goes into detail about it. And it's fucked. I mean, the Federal Reserve forced us into the Great Depression in 1913. Well, not there's a guy, I forgot the name, but he convinced everybody to take their money out of the banks, and that caused the Great Depression in 1913. And then that forced us, in order to survive, oh look, the Great Depression, thank you for coming in to, oh look, the Federal Reserve, thank you for coming in and saving us. So we were forced into accepting the Federal Reserve, which acts completely outside of government law. And it is a vicious thing. It is a vicious, vicious, vicious thing, the Federal Reserve. They, just the way they work, he goes into detail about how, like, they bring in $10 million at a time and then just duplicate $9 billion on top of it, just daily, just fuck it. Because they can. And then they just throw us into debt. And, we're in what's called a fiat currency now, which, when Reagan, it was either Nixon or Reagan, removed the gold standard around the 70s. We now are on what's called a fiat currency, which is congressmen for we just fucking making it up. And it's just sad. It's just sad. And like he goes into detail about how, like, I know I'm saying like a lot and I'm trying to fix it. It's something I've always been trying to fix my whole life and I can't stand it. He talks about how we owe so much, or we owe a fraction of a dollar back to the Federal Reserve for every dollar that they give us. So it's impossible to avoid debt, because it's like, how do you, if the first dollar that we ever got was from them and they're charging us interest on it, how the fuck do you want us to play? And they don't. That's the goal. But the thing is, we're so many generations deep that people have just been born into it. So for so many generations now that it's just accepted now, and people are just going down the hole. And instead of fighting the whole system as a whole, instead of trying to instead of trying to fix the whole box we're in, they're just trying to fix these leaks in it. But it's the box that's fucked up. The whole monetary system is fucked. And that's why the whole Democrat, Republican, and everything is fucked. And you guys need to take psychedelics, by the way, because all of this is bullshit. I feel like if I had watched Zeitgeist and all that, if I had watched all the Zeitgeist films prior to my psychedelic experiences, it would have been, I would have not felt it as much. I don't know how I would have reacted. I don't know if I would have cared as much or if I'd even be talking about it now. But I'm so thankful that I found psychedelics because they've taught me to love. I mean that. I didn't understand emotion and fear and love and light and dark and complete polarities at a primal core level until I've had the psychedelic experiences I've had. I should tell you guys about the before I continue talking about what they talk about in Zeitgeist and stuff. I should tell you about the psilocin experience I had. Psilocin is and correct me if I'm wrong here, it's the DMT extract from psychedelic mushrooms. I took one hit of psilocin with this stuff here. It's legal. It's a booster called Syrian Rue. I guess the official name for it is Penguin or Peganum Haramala. But I mixed 2.5 ounces of this with some orange juice, and I took that, and then about 30 minutes later, I took the psilocin, and it was just in capsule form. Just a little tiny dab of something in a little clear capsule. I accepted death. I accepted my own death. Let me just get straight to the point. And it was fucking scary. I made sure to fully take on the. I don't fuck around, guys. I'm not here to abuse the shit. I'm here to fully take in the experiences. So I did it at night. I did it alone. Just completely let everything. Just let the whole experience come through me. And it started out. It was fun or whatever. The ground started moving. At first I didn't feel anything, of course, and I thought I'd gotten ripped off by the guy who I bought it from. But he was a guy that I've been buying from for a while. I've been getting my Molly and LSD from him. He's a pretty good guy, but yeah, it wasn't doing anything. So, but after a while, I started feeling pretty giggly, and then I looked at the ground and just all the specks in the carpet started shifting or whatever. It looked kind of like sand or whatever. That was fun, and I eventually found myself back here against this wall. With Goofy here, my stuffed dog, and we were, and I was just looking at the other corner of my room here, so I was in the back here looking at this corner here, and I just found myself in my head, and I found myself, I was thinking objects, I was thinking shapes, like physical shapes, like cylinders and pyramids, 3D objects, but it's so hard to explain. When you got to know. To the people who haven't had these psychedelic experiences, it's hard to explain, but they give you sort of an extra sense for a while. So it's hard to explain them in the sense. I'm trying to relate them to senses that we have by default, our current 5 senses, but these psychedelics that meet you at a core level. It's really as if they give you an extra sensory for the time that they hold you, and I think that's why you're able to have an experience and learn from them, because you're seeing the world from such a different perspective for a short time, and then you come back from that and you're like, well, this is just as dumb as that was. This is what does it even matter at this point? If you want to be cynical about it, I guess you can be like that. You get my point. So what the fuck was I talking about? Going back, I'm telling you guys that you needed to... Talking to the people... Yeah, if you guys haven't... To the people that haven't had these experiences, you just gotta know that. And, so yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm talking... I'm sitting here with my stuffed dog or whatever. And I just have... I have a playlist of songs that I have a playlist of songs here on my iTunes from... This is the only reason I think radio songs should exist, is because they I don't know if I should say this because I'm so against radio songs, but I think that they should exist for children and nothing more. But the only way they can get to children is through like adults and through their radios and stuff. But like I have certain songs from my past that the songs themselves don't make any fucking sense really. But that's most radio songs. They don't make sense. They're just a catchy tune. But I had a whole playlist of the songs from my early childhood, like the very first songs I can remember from like that era of time that I was born in, like early 90s and stuff. So it was like an early Sugar Ray playlist and stuff. I'm not going to play it. It's embarrassing. Okay? It's embarrassing. Like, because if I was born now, it would be like fucking, I don't know what it would be, whatever's playing on the radio now. And I know that I'm going to regret playing it as soon as I watch this video back. And it's just bad. So, but you get the idea. So I was listening to that. And the thing about these psilocin experiences, specifically psilocin, rather, but most hardcore natural psychedelics, they have this unanimous ability to make everything seem symbolic, make everything seem more symbolic than it really is. So while you do try to, I don't know about, I can't really talk generally, but for me, it was, I had to fight really hard to realize that, you know, eyes are just connected to my brain and whatever, and that this everything I had to convince myself that everything I was seeing wasn't symbolic of something, because what had happened was I had eventually talked myself into, okay, I'm dying now, because I felt like I had figured so much out about the universe, and like because I had just been watching all these documentaries and getting into why we are where we are and all into this shit, I figured like, because what they say is that we're all moving at a vibration. Like all of the things that physically exist is just existing in a vibration. So what I had ended up hearing, just a vibration of sound, and it's all sound. And what they found is you can find it on my favorites. When you play a high enough frequency of sound on a flat speaker, while with sand on it or with like rice or anything that can take shape easily, it will create. If you just play a high enough frequency of just a ringing sound, it will create. It's really eerie. It'll create different Egyptian hieroglyphs. It's fucking insane. So, and you kind of like try to relate that to like the eeriness of everything that all of Egypt and the pyramids is and everything, and that on top of the primal fear that I was not fear, but primal emotion you're feeling because of the psychedelic. It made it. I was convinced that I was feeling my own death because all I was hearing was this ringing in my ear, and I was just about to zap out of existence. So I had gotten into the position that I was going to die in. I laid down in the middle of the room, and I kept trying to keep my eyes open. I just convinced myself, just keep my eyes open, and everything will be okay. Because if you keep your eyes open, you're alive. Don't fall asleep, don't whatever. But everything was telling me to close my eyes, and that was also adding to me believing I was going to die, because everything was telling me to like close my eyes. And whenever I would close my eyes, it was almost more real than opening my eyes. So that was adding to the fear too, because there's something about closing your eyes that you like being able to escape seeing what's in front of you, but it sucks that when you close your eyes and you're trying to escape what's in front of you, like the hallucinations I was seeing and stuff, it sucks when you close your eyes and you're still seeing. Like it's almost as if the eyelids don't even matter. So, but there was something so peaceful about whenever I would just give into it and just close my eyes and just let it go to the hallucinations I was seeing, and I was just hearing this loud ringing. So the music I was hearing, it was mixed with this loud ass ringing in my ear, and there's something about, I gotta stop this in a couple seconds and move it to the next video so that I don't go over the 15-minute limit. But there's something about psilocin specifically that really distorts your perception of time. So the audio I was hearing, I was able to control the rate at which I was hearing the music, and it was almost creepy. I was able to slow it down, but then the voice got really satanic and stuff, and then I could speed the music up in my head, and which I don't know how I was doing that, because it was like I was traveling forward in time. But I guess it's because I already knew the lyrics and I've been listening to the songs my whole life, so that they're that built in. But I don't know. I was controlling the speed at which I was hearing things, but it was mainly just this ringing in my ear, which I knew was just, and I was convinced that was just this that was the frequency we exist on, and it was about to like take me away. So I'm laying there, and I'm just seeing these shapes as I'm closing my eyes. Okay, I gotta stop it, and I'll be right back.